This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to vividtrainings.com. So, in today's session, we are going to understand one more very important example. We need to create one stored procedure. Okay, so depends upon the requirement. We need to what create what the stored procedure. Okay, so what the requirement is, very simple requirement, like transfer funds from one account to another account. Okay, so let me uh, let me open the notepad file. For example, let's say the requirement. Okay, the company has given one requirement. So the requirement is transfer funds from one account to another account. Okay, so this is the requirement. Okay, so transfer funds from one account to another account. For example, I am transferring some amount to my father or my brother. Okay, so how the transfer is happened, so what are the things we required and everything we are going to do. So let's start. Okay, let's start. So I'm transferring funds to my brother. So what exactly we required here? I'm sending some amount to my brother. Okay, my account number is required and my brother account number is also required. Am I right or wrong? Is it clear, everyone? So my account number and my brother account number is required to transfer funds from, okay, one account to another account. Am I right or wrong? So in the same way, how much amount, the transaction amount you are going to send? Am I correct? Right? How much amount you are transferring? So I am transferring some funds to my brother account. That is how much? What is the amount you are transferring to your brother? That is also very important, right? The transaction amount is very important, right? How much you are doing transaction, that is very important, right? Correct. So, so first thing, so what are the inputs? What are the input parameters you required? So they are asking to write a stored procedure. Okay, they are asking to write a stored procedure. So what stored procedure? So first we need to know the input parameters, right? Input parameters. So what are the input parameters we required? The first one, we know we required sender account ID. Second one, who is going to receive the amount? Okay, so receiver account ID is required. And the third one, the transaction amount is also required, right? The transaction amount too. So how much amount you are transferring, from which account to which account you are transferring, and how much amount you are transferring. This is the thing we need to do. These are the very important things we need to do. Correct? So so here we can do some validations. So for this sender account ID. So for example, let's take me. I am sending some amount to my brother, right? So I am sending some 5,000 rupees to my brother. So if I am sending some amount to my brother, what I need? So I need sufficient balance in my account. Am I right? Without having sufficient balance in my account, I cannot transfer to the to my brother's account, right? So first the validation you need to do. The first validation. Okay, first validation. So what is the first validation we are going to be doing? Okay, to send amount you require, right? So send amount you require sufficient balance. Am I right or wrong? This is the validation you are going to be doing. In the same way, the second validation also you can do. Second validation, what is this second validation? What you are going to be doing? Okay, to receive amount. Okay, to receive amount, receiver account also should open, right? His account should open, his account should be active state, right? So if his account is not active, then how you are going to send the amount? It is not possible, right? If you send amount also, it will be in a halfway, so you cannot completely reach the amount to him, or am I right? So that is some kind of issue you are going to be getting. So receivers account should be open, right? This is what you need to know. Okay, so these kind of validations we are going to be doing. Sir, where I need to do the validation, when I need to do the validation? First, we will take the input parameters, sender account ID, receiver account ID, and transaction amount. Next, we'll begin writing the code. So, in the code, first you need to check whether the particular receiver account ID, sorry, sender account ID is having sufficient balance or not. Okay, if he is having sufficient balance, okay, what you need to do, what it has to happen. So the amount should, okay, the amount should debit from your account. Am I right? The amount should debit your account. So that is what the thing you are going to be doing, right? So the amount should debit, right? So how much amount you have? Available balance of 10,000. You are going to transfer 5,000. So what it is going to happen? You are going to get, if you transfer some 5,000 rupees from your account to your brother account, when you log into your net banking, you can see there is a statement. In that statement, you can see there is one transaction has been inserted, right? There is one transaction just now, some transaction has done. It will show you the complete transaction detail, right? So it has to show the complete transactions, and it has to update the balance 10,000 to 5,000. Why? Because 5,000 I have sent, right? So this is the thing it has to happen. And what happened, what is the next step? The receiver account, he is going to get some amount. So when he is going to get some amount, when he log into the net banking and he is going to check the amount, he got some amount 5,000 rupees. In his account also there is one transaction has done. Okay, he received some amount, he got credited some amount from his brother, right? So this kind of insertion, this kind of one row is inserted into the transactions, right? So later his balance is also going to update. So the receiver account balance is having 50,000. So when you are sending 5,000, it should add 50 plus 5, 55,000 it should add. So automatically these things has to be done. Clear? Automatically these things has to be done. So this is what the code you need to write. Very simple. Take the parameters. Okay, check whether you have the balance or not. Okay, so once checking the balance, if it is the balance is available, then what you need to do, you can send the amount less than this balance. What is whatever the sufficient balance you have, only less than that balance only you can have you can send, you can do some kind of transaction. So once your transaction is done, you need to get some one message like you have what you have debited some amount from your account, so the updated balance is this. So that is the thing it has to happen. The next thing it has to, okay, go and do for the receivers account ID also, same insertion, updation of the amount and everything. That is the thing we need to do. This is the requirement. So you can write here the code, you can write some kind of code. what kind of a code you will write? You will do insert into transaction master, right? One insertion will happen, correct? And update will also happen. Update account master table, the balance is going to update, right? So in the same way, this is for what cash withdrawal we are going to be doing. For cash deposit in a receiver account, right? Receiver account is going to receive the amount, right? The cash deposit is done in receiver account. So in the cash deposit also insert into transaction master table. This is to have, this is has to done. And update account master is also needs to be done. Okay, cash withdrawal in sender account id, cash deposit in a receiver account. And am I correct, right? Cash withdrawal, that means from my account id I am sending some amount to my brother account id. So my brother sorry, my account should get some insertion update, some balance amount update, right? So I have done some transaction that has to show in my net banking, that will show when you do like this. So your balance also should update. You have 20,000 balance, you are sending some 5,000 amounts, then 15,000 balance should update. That is done in my account. That is cash withdrawal has done from my account. Cash deposit, who got deposited the amount? My brother. So my brother account should also insert the, okay, insert one row. What is that row? Some amount has been deposited in your account. That is the message he will get. So what is the available balance? You are going to update the balance also. Okay, so how to do, how to write the code for this, let's do now. Okay, let me open this. Use Indian Bank. Okay, let's do now. Very big programming we are going to be doing now. So let's say use Indian Bank. Now see here what I'm trying to do here. So select star from account master table, select star from transaction master table. Okay, so if you see, what is the transaction number? This is automatic generating number. When the transaction has done, who, from which account the transaction has done, from which branch, from what is the cash deposit or cash withdrawal it has done, what is the check number if is the check transaction, what is the transaction amount, and who is the user id. So this is the information you are going to get. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, so let me write the code to transfer funds from one account to another account. So how to do that? So now requirement here is transfer funds from one account to another. So let me create a stored procedure quickly. So see here, create proc name USP, user stored procedure. Let's say transfer funds. So this is the stored procedure name. So I am going to be taking Okay, parameters, that is sender account id, it is an integer. At the rate receiver account id, that is also an integer. At the rate transaction amount, let's say transaction amount, let's say money data type. Okay, so these are the three parameters. When I'm calling the stored procedure, I need to pass which account id I need to take. I need to pass which receiver account id. That means from particular whatever the account id you have given, from that account id whatever the amount you have, that amount should transfer to receiver account id. So this is the thing it is going to happen. Okay, so this is the first step. Clear everybody? So now as begin and end, you can write end here, you can write some coding from here. Okay, so the first step, so we have created. Okay, the second step is we need to do validation. So check whether, okay, the sender account id has sufficient balance or not. Okay, check whether sender account id has sufficient balance or not. This is what we are going to be doing. So to check the sufficient balance in the account, so what we are going to be doing actually, what we are going to be doing, so how we are going to be writing, so this is how: select star from account master table where ACID is equals to at the rate sender account id, right? So here I am going to be writing clear balance like this. So sender, check whether sender account ID has a sufficient balance or not. Okay, so I'm simply checking like this. So who is the sender account ID? That sender account ID you will get here. So the balance of that particular sender account ID you will get here. And here you are going to be writing one if condition. You are going to check whether, okay, sufficient balance we have or not. Here I am going to be writing one if condition, if and else statement. So what is the statement means? The transaction amount whatever the sender accountant is doing should less than or equal to this balance, right? This balance. So what is the balance of sender account ID? So for example, the sender account balance, the sender account ID is, for example, let's say 10001. The balance of this account ID is like a 20,000. So how much amount this you are transferring? Some 5,000 if you are transferring. So 5,000 is less than or equal to 20,000. Yes, right? If this is true, then what you need to do? You need to start cash withdrawal, right? Cash withdrawal in sender account ID. This is what you need to get. Okay, cash withdrawal in sender account ID. This is what you need to do. You need to write insert statement and update statements. Okay, if this is true, if this is true, you are going to be doing all these things. Okay, here what you need to write, you need to write the balance here. Whatever the balance you are getting for the particular account number, that balance you need to, okay, mention in the condition. So how you are going to mention in the condition? So whatever the balance you are getting for this 10001, that balance should come here. How you can get it? By declaring the variables. You can declare variables here. Declare at the rate, okay, let's say balance, that is money data type. Okay, so this balance, variable I'm using here. Okay, so whatever the 10001 account number balance is having, that balance is stored in this particular variable. So now this variable I am using over here. Remove this one. Are you clear, guys? So whatever the balance we are getting for the particular sender account ID, that balance I'm storing in one variable. So what variable can do? Variable can store the data and move the data from one place to another place. This we know, right? Already we know this one. Correct? Everyone clear about this? So if this is clear, so that we can move ahead. Anybody has having any doubts? No doubts, right? Just we are verifying the data, verifying whether that balance is available or not, sufficient balance is available to do the transaction or not, that we are checking. So without checking, without doing testing, or without knowing what is the balance available in your account, how you can do the transaction? Okay, if you have 20,000 but you are doing 50,000 transaction, 50,000 you are going to send, so how you are going to send? So it is not possible to send, right? So that is not possible actually. Okay, so if the transaction amount is should less than the balance, whatever the balance you have, so that it can do the cash withdrawal, that means you can do insert, right? You can do insert. So what insert? So insert into, okay, transaction master table, it has to done into transaction master table, the values is this. Okay, so what are the values you are going to insert? So the transaction number, this is automatically generating a number, right? Already we know. Why? Because this is having the identity property. Okay, this is having the identity property. So identity property means what? Identity property sp underscore help text. Okay, uh, I'll text only. Okay, the transaction master table. Mm, yeah, see, identity property transaction number seed 1 increment 1. Okay, so what identity property will do? It will automatically, it will increment the number, right? So that is what we are going to be doing. So now, see, I am going to insert. So how I am going to insert? I don't want to insert this. So the date of transaction, when you run this stored procedure, then only it will run, right? So get a date function, what get a date function will do? It will give the present date and time, right? So now account id, the next one is account id. Whose account id? From which account id the date of transaction, from which account id the amount the transaction is done. So from sender account id, that is the sender account id, comma br id. So from which branch? You can write any branch. Okay, whatever the branch you want. Okay, so it transaction type, what kind of a transaction it has done? Cash withdrawal it has done, cash deposit it has done. So cash withdrawal it has done in a sender, sorry, in sender account id, right? So the next check number, that is null, and check date, that is also null, and the transaction amount, how much transaction amount it has done. So we have transaction amount parameter, so you can choose that, and you can choose 102 is the user id or 101, anything. Okay, so that is the thing we are going to be doing. So here we have inserted the data, I mean the transaction has been inserted. So now let me update clear balance in sender account ID. Am I right or wrong? So whatever the balance this account ID is having, it has to update, right? So when you do transaction, it has to update. So like update account master table, set clear balance is equals to clear balance minus whatever the transaction amount you have done. Okay, where ACID is equals to at the rate sender account ID. This is the thing you need to do. Clear everyone? If this is true, then it has to do insert for sender account ID. It has to do update for sender account ID. Okay. So in the same way, we are going to be doing. So here you can write one message. You can write one message. Print cash withdrawal. Okay, is done in sender account ID successfully. Okay, cash withdrawal is done in sender account ID successfully. This kind of message it has to show. Once this is done, let's cash deposit. Let's do cash deposit. So cash deposit in which account? Whose account? Cash deposit in a receiver account. Am I right or wrong? Okay, so this is the thing we are going to be doing. So now let me insert again, insert into transaction master table values. So what are the values I am going to insert? The first value we know already, it is auto increment. So the second row, when the get date function, when the amount has transferred. Okay, the date you need to give, account ID, so receiver account ID you need to pass. Okay, branch, in which branch you can have, so let's say some branch, comma, transaction type, that is a cash deposit, correct? So check number, that is a null, check date, that is a null, transaction amount at the rate transaction amount, comma 101, something else. Okay, so now update update the balance. Okay, update the balance for receiver account, correct? Update the balance for receiver account. So how to update? So update account master table, set clear balance is equals to clear balance plus at the rate transaction amount. Okay, where ACID is equals to at the rate receiver account ID. The same thing whatever we have done for cash withdrawal. So we have done the same thing for cash deposit also. So now here you can do one kind of a message you can show them. So the message like print uh, cash deposit is done in receiver account ID successfully, something else, some kind of message. Clear? Simple, right? Very easy, right? Clear, everybody? So this is the thing you need to do. So you can start here. So as begin, So select this blah blah blah, whatever the balance you are having, that balance we are going to check, we are going to verify. So if this is true, then do begin. Okay, then do begin and do insert, update, and print. For cash deposit also insert, update, and print. Let's end this. I mean, in this in between a begin and end, you are going to be getting all these things. You can write like this. Okay, like this you can say. Okay, so if this is true, then execute this complete thing. Am I correct or not? If this condition is true, then execute all these things. If the balance is not sufficient, if the transaction amount is greater than the balance what you have, then what you are going to be doing, so if you have written if and else you also you need to write, right? So else, okay, begin and end. So else you can say one kind of message. You do not have sufficient balance in your account. Some kind of message you can show them. Okay. So if this is true, then you do all these kind of transactions. Else you can show one kind of message, you do not have sufficient balance in your account. So this is what the message you need to show. Very simple, right? This is how we are going to transfer. I will show you how we are going to transfer. Let me create this procedure. I have created this procedure, looking fine. So I need to call, right? Call stored procedure. How to call stored procedure? So we have execute stored procedure name. See here. When you execute it, it will show an error. Why? Because it expecting the parameter value which was not supplied here. So we need to supply some kind of parameter value. First account number, sender account number, receiver account number, and how much amount you are going to transfer. So let me show you. See here. Ah. So see here. uh, let's take Rahul. Okay, the account number is 10002. Okay, where account number is 10002. Okay, so when you execute this guy transaction you will get. Okay, and this guy Rahul is having a 30,000 balance, and Rahul wants to transfer some amount to this guy Manoj 10014, or ACID is equals to 10014. Okay, so now see. Okay, so the balance of Rahul is 30,000 and the balance of Manoj is having 8,000. So this Rahul is going to transfer 5,000 rupees to Manoj, and the Rahul balance should get deduct, right? So it has to get 25,000 and the Manoj balance should get to 13,000, right? So and the transaction master, so transaction also should update. So the transaction, last transaction is 122 number, transaction number in the year 2019. Okay, in the year 2019, but we don't have those, the current year. where, okay, so date of transaction, okay, where date of transaction is equals to what, current year. Okay, let's say uh, what we can write here. So let's say year of date of transaction is equals to the current year, that is 2023. So let's execute and check. There are no transaction. This guy is having 30,000. I am transferring 5,000 rupees amount from his account to Manoj account. So Manoj, so Rahul account balance should get to 55 20, sorry 25,000, and Manoj account should get 13,000, and the transactions should also insert two transaction. One is cash withdrawal, one is cash deposit. So let me, sender account ID is, okay, some Rahul, so not here, here. Sender account ID is Rahul, comma, this receiver account ID is Manoj, comma, the amount is 5,000 rupees. Okay. So now when you execute this, so see, insert is done, update is done, cash withdrawal is done in sender account ID successfully. That is done. Insert is done, okay, update is done, the cash deposit is done in receiver account ID successfully. Now see, okay, now go here, now execute this one. Now see, you can see there is a balance of 25,000 in Rahul account. It was updated. The balance in Manoj account is also updated to 13,000. If you go and check the today's transaction, we got two transaction, 123 124. So on today's date and time, this is the, okay, account ID, the sender account ID, the cash withdrawal has done 5,000, and the cash deposit has done in 10014 account of rupees 5,000. User ID is this. Clear everybody? Simple, right? So for example, this guy Lokesh is having one triple zero five, right? Lokesh is having only 130 rupees. Okay, he wants to transfer to, so Lokesh, sorry, 1300 rupees he is having. So he wants to transfer amount to let's say Gautam 10003. Okay, how much amount? 5,000 rupees amount he wants to transfer. Who wants to transfer? Lokesh wants to transfer 5,000 to Gautam. So but Lokesh amount, so Lokesh clear balance is having a 1300. Okay, Gautam clear balance is having 4,000. He's active. Okay, he's inactive. We haven't checked. We haven't written any kind of code on that. But so the Lokesh is having 1300, and so the when the Lokesh wants to transfer some 5,000, but it won't transfer the 5,000 rupees. It will show you you do not have sufficient balance in your account. Is this clear? Is this clear? Simple, right? Very easy. Easy, right? Everybody understood, right? So how to do the programming on this? Simple, it is very simple. Okay, this is the thing you need to do. And and I will give you one homework. Mm, I think. Okay, everybody is having Indian bank case study, right? So just open the Indian bank case study. So when you open this, you can see you have created already these tables and its databases and tables, and you need to do practice. Okay, you need to create some views, you need to write some queries. So list the transactions that have taken place in given branch during the previous month. So previous month lo particular branch ki ఎన్ని transactions జరిగాయి అనేది we need to show. Give the branch wise total cash deposit that have taken place during last 5 days. So last 5 days nundi branch branch wise whatever the total cash deposits we have done, so we need to show them. So these are the requirements. Around we have 25, I think, yes, 25 requirements we have. So you need to do practice on all these 25 requirements. If you do practice, so from first to last, whatever the concepts, whatever the okay topics we have discussed in our SQL server sessions, all those topics are included for these requirements. The topics, the okay, okay, whatever the topics we have, whatever the topics we have seen, and whatever the functions, okay, we have seen all those things we are going to be using in these requirements. So everybody should do practice on these requirements. If you do practice on these requirements, only these requirements, 100% I am sure you are going to be getting a very good knowledge. Okay, so coming to stored procedure. So list of transactions from one, okay, for 1 month of transaction. So this is the report you need to generate like this. Okay, so when you call the stored procedure, you are going to pass some account number. So depends upon that account number, you need to get the product name, you need to get the customer name, you need to get the balance, you need to get the branch, and whatever the transactions that a particular account has done, the complete transactions it has to show like this, it has to show the bill. So if you, if you have an idea on credit card or a debit card, something else. So when you download your bank statement for 1 month, you have done some 20 or 30 transactions per month, for example. Let's say like that. So those transactions you can see, right? So whatever the bank statement you have downloaded through online, the same how you have downloaded. So what is the code behind to download the bank statement or else the credit card bill statement, something, some kind of previous month statement balance or month statements, you are going to be writing this code. Okay, you do analysis, what are the input parameters we required. Okay, so what are the things we required. So you do practice on this. Let me know tomorrow before the session, sir, we have done like this. Okay, fine. If it is fine, then fine. So if you are not getting how to do this, let me know, so I will explain you guys. Okay, I will explain you. So if you have any questions, you are welcome, guys. From today's session, if you have any questions, you are welcome. Thank you, guys.